Villarreal claimed an important win at the Estadio de la Cerámica against Osasuna, who are on the back of a 3-game streak. In fact, it was 5 games without defeat, 3 games that they'd won on the bounce heading into this one. So they were the form side, but Villarreal struck early on, and it really was a tale of which side was the most efficient and most clinical with their finishing. Ayoce Perez, a minute and a half into the game, opening the scoring. It was a bit of a horror show in defence for Osasuna throughout the entire game. Unai Garcia, who'd only played 3 minutes in LaLiga EA Sports all season long ahead of this game, was shipped into defence, coming in for the suspended Cadena, and he was clearly lacking match sharpness. He couldn't stop Ayoce from shooting there. And Herrera got his hand onto the ball, but not enough to prevent it from going into the back of the net. A timid response from Ante Budimir. Whilst Villarreal were or are vying to qualify for next season's Champions League, Osasuna, courtesy of that positive run of results in April, still alive also and in contention to qualify for Europe, with the 8th place going to the Conference League, position that they were holding heading into this game at the Estadio de la Cerámica. Cross there by Abel Beretones is collected by Luis Jr. Rubén García, probably the best performer for Osasuna, with the acrobatic 1-2. They didn't end up finding Ante Budimir, who perhaps had one of his quieter performances this season. One of La Liga's top goal scorers, the Croatian centre-forward. Again here, a long ball, pretty much from nowhere. Ends up producing the attacking move from Villarreal, and the shot coming off the post from Pape Gay. It's a lovely link-up between Tino Barry and Pape Gay. Powerful, forceful run forward from the French midfielder. Osasuna had more of the ball, but it was when they made mistakes like this that Villarreal pounced. Nicolas Pepe making the most of a sloppy touch from Errando, who was also very slow in turning and reacting. But it was a relentless high press from the likes of Pepe, Ayoce, Tino Barry that made life so difficult for Osasuna's back 5. The defence in disarray, gaps appearing everywhere, and Sergio Herrera having to sweep up, coming a long way off his line. Time and time again we saw Osasuna's defensive line in completely different positions, nobody really indicating whether to sit deep or step forward, and that meant that gaps were appearing. Instance here, Tino Barry makes his way through as Boyoma was a step too far behind the rest of the defence, meaning there was no offside. But then Unai Garcia wasn't convincing in his defending, and Sergio Herrera hesitating off the line. And that slight lapse in communication between defender and goalkeeper was exploited by Tino Barry. Over the top by Pepe. You can see here, Unai Garcia comes across not strong enough to shove Tino Barry out of the way, and Sergio Herrera, he was too late in coming to meet Tino Barry, who had the easiest of finishes to make it 2-0. Again, look at the spaces in defence. Barry Played through on goal by Ayoce. Vicente Moreno saw enough to send Brian Zaragoza to warm up minutes before the first half finished. Nicolas Pepe again getting in behind Hernando, teeing up Ayoce Perez. And he curled that one, or guided it, into the bottom corner. 2 more goals to his tallies on 16, the top national or top Spanish goal scorer in La Liga EA Sports, surpassing Ollán Sánchez. Hernando again with another move in which he doesn't show his best abilities. It was a difficult afternoon all around for the Osasuna defence, but notably for Unai Garcia and Jorge Hernando. And a cross here which clearly came off the head of Ante Budimir, resulted in a goal kick being awarded, hence the reaction from the Villarreal players. Quique Femenía finished the first half with a niggling injury. He would have to be replaced by Pau Navarro. Brian Zaragoza coming on to inject a bit of vitality into the Osasuna attack. But very much like in the first half, Osasuna came into the second half, switched off, and just a minute into the start of the second period, this shot from Santi Comesaña came off the crossbar of Sergio Herrera's goal. So worrying, not only in terms of the fact that they were being outplayed, but also the mental switch off from the Osasuna side. As Villarreal were looking to seal the game. Pape Gay making another powerful run forward. This time his shot would be blocked by Iker Muñoz, who we saw a couple of moments ago, also came on as a second half substitute. But a mistake by Juan Foyth allowed Osasuna back into it. Rubén García with the goal. That was on 65 minutes. Sloppy pass from Juan Foyth. Logan Costa has to come across to Ante Budimir, and that leaves a wide open gap for Rubén García. So Villarreal anticipating perhaps a nervy ending to the game. They came close. Tino Barry slashing that ball high into the stands. That would be his last involvement in the game, as both he and Pape Gay would make way for the returning Alex Baena and Taj Buchanan. Just moments after coming on, an immediate impact from Villarreal's standout player Alex Baena, with his umpteenth assist of the season, teeing it up on a silver platter for Nicolas Pepe to make it 4-1 and dispel any signs of a Osasuna rebellion. Lovely floated ball from Baena. And a cool, calm and assured finish from Pepe. Really knocked the wind out of Osasuna's sails, who naturally continue to come forward, looking to reduce the deficit and cling on to any hope of salvaging a point. More substitutions heading into the final stretch in the game. Rubén Peña, we saw there, would have an important and influential role for Osasuna in the final minutes, as Aimar Oroz drilled that shot straight at Luis Jr. Munoz's shot would fall into the edge of the box, and there, Peña getting in just ahead of Sergio Cardona, who clips his heel. And upon further review from the referee, that contact he deemed was enough to award a penalty kick. Marorov with an unblemished record from the penalty spot, having scored 8 out of 8 prior to this penalty, keeping up his 100% record, making it 4-2, his 5th goal of the season. Bretones sent through by Brian Zaragoza, and an awkward cross which Luis Jr. had to deal with at the near post. Chance here for Ayoce to claim his hat-trick as it fell just behind him, going for the acrobatic overhead. This would be Osasuna's final clear chance. Boyoma glancing that header wide. And Villarreal would celebrate an important win as they continue to pursue qualification for next season's Champions League.